Hey guys, here's another hour-long class, and in today's class we're going to be focusing on flying pigeon, so a hip opener. And today in class we're going to be moving a little bit in a fun and funky way, and we'll take time for both crow pose and our flying pigeon, so that way we can get our body warmed up for flying pigeon and crow by getting into our balance. And we'll warm up our hips a lot before we get into flying pigeon, so you don't have to worry about warming up your hips at all or having already warmed up hips, because that's the good point of today's class, is to get our hips nice and warmed. But yeah, that's game plan. Hip opening, flying pigeon, standing series, with an ending, of course, as always, on the mat. Once the standing series is over, and it's an hour-long flow. And we're going to get started in a nice, comfortable seated position. So go ahead, make your way there. Closing your eyes here. Growing that crown of your head up towards the sky. Palms face down on those kneecaps of yours for grounding energy. Palms face up towards that sky for receiving energy. Hugging that belly button of yours up and in. Letting your shoulder blades roll down your back and away from your ears. And just take a few breaths here. Letting your day fall away. Letting your to-do list fall away. Beginning to forget about anything that may or may not have happened before you got onto your mat today. And anything that may or may not happen later on. This evening or this week. What have you. And just bring your attention right here and right now to your body and to your breath. And we're going to start off today's class with alternate nostril breathing. And what you're going to do that is just going to breathe up through one channel of your nose, close off both channels, and then open up the opposite channel and breathe down. And I'll cue you through it. So go ahead, pull your middle finger and your second and third finger into the palm of your right hand, keeping your right thumb and your left pinky open. And then go ahead, bring your right thumb to your right nostril. Take whatever mudra you want with your left hand and take a big breath in. Exhale, sigh it out through your mouth. And then inhale, begin to inhale up through that nose, that left nostril of yours for 2, 3, 4. Seal off your left nostril with your pinky finger, and then open up your right nostril and breathe all the way down for 2, 3, 4. Inhale up through your nose, 2, 3, 4. Close off your right nostril and exhale, open up your left nostril, removing that left pinky, and exhale down for 3 and 4. Inhale up through your nose for 2, 3, 4. Close, left open, right, exhale all the way down, 2, 3, 4. Inhale up, 2, 3, 4. Close, open the left, exhaling down for 2, 3, 4. And then go ahead, do 2 more rounds of this breathing on your own. Making sure that your final exhale is on that left side. And when you're done, just take 3 deep, big inhales and exhales, either out through your mouth or in and out through your nose, letting your breath return to normal. And then as you're ready, inhale, sweep your hands all the way up towards the sky. As you exhale, pull your hands down to your heart space here. Keeping your eyes closed as you take a moment to set an intention for your practice. Maybe think of a mantra, one word to help you move and flow, or maybe you think about whatever brought you here onto your mat today. And just keep that in mind throughout class. And then go ahead, inhale, slip your hands all the way up. As you exhale, pull them back down to your heart, sealing in that intention, sealing in that mantra. And once you've done that, take a second here, offering gratitude not only to yourself for taking this time out of your day for yourself and to move, but offer gratitude to someone that allowed you and helped you get to your mat today. And then inhale, reach your hands all the way up towards that sky. As you exhale, pull your hands back down to your heart space. Then as you're ready, make your way up into a tabletop position here. And inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. And as you exhale, round your back. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. As you exhale, round your back. And then go ahead and take 2 more rounds of cat-cow here. Meeting me back in your nice neutral tabletop position when you're finished. And then from here, go ahead, walk your hands at palms with distance forward on your mat. I cannot talk today. Tuck your toes, lift your knees up towards that sky. Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Beginning to bend one leg and then the other here. Maybe you sway your hips side to side. Maybe you just fall into stillness. Taking a second to brush anything up off of your mat, like I am, that may be on your mat. For example, mine is dog hair. I need to vacuum tomorrow or later on today. And then go ahead and inhale all the way up onto your tippy toes. As you exhale, tiptoe all the way up to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen once you get there. Exhale, bow. And then inhale, verse 1, dive all up, standing hands going to touch above your head. And as you exhale, pull your hands down to your heart. And then inhale, hands go up. Exhale, swan dive, forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. As you exhale, bow forward, plant your hands on the mat. Step that right leg of yours long back behind you. Let your right knee fall down the mat. And inhale, hands go high. Low classical lunge here. Starting out with a classical sun sound. Hugging your belly button up and in. Let's take your breath in as you exhale, hinge forward. Plant your hands down on the mat. Step your left foot to meet your right. High plank. Option for your knees to stay high. Your knees can go down on the mat. Let's take a breath in as you exhale, lower down, low plank. Inhale up, upward facing dog. Exhale, push your hips up towards the sky. Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. And then inhale, right leg goes high. As you exhale, pull that right knee in towards your nose. Put that right foot down the mat. Left knee follows, and inhale, hands go high. Low classical lunge. Sinking down to your hips as much as you want or need to. Stretching out this right hip and our left hip already. Take a big breath in as you exhale, bow forward, plant your hands to the mat. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, step forward, forward, fold. Inhale, halfway, lift, lengthen. Exhale, bow. And then inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing. Hands going to touch above your head. As you exhale, hinge, forward and down, forward, fold. Inhale, halfway, lift, lengthen. As you exhale, bow forward, plant your hands on the mat. Step your left leg long back behind you. Left knee's going to come down the mat. And inhale, hands go all the way up towards that sky. Breathing here. Take a breath in as you exhale, hinge forward, plant your hands down the mat. Step your right foot back to meet your left. High plank, Vinyasa through. Meet me in downward facing dog. And then inhale, lift your left leg high. And as you exhale, pull your left knee towards your nose. Plant your left foot down the mat. Right knee follows. Inhale, hands go all the way up. Good. Taking a big breath in as you exhale, bow forward, plant your hands on the mat, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, step forward to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, bow. And then inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up, standing hands going to touch above your head. As you exhale, hinge down and forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. As you exhale, bow forward, plant your hands on the mat, step back, high plank, optional Vinyasa. Meet me in downward facing dog. And then inhale all the way up onto your tippy toes. As you exhale, bring your knees down to the mat and let them hover here. Bring them straight down to the mat. And we're hovering, if you're hovering, for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, bring those knees of yours down to the mat. And let's start with our left leg, because why not? Let's take our left leg, extend it long back behind us here. Keep all 5 of your left toes lifted up off of the mat. And take a breath in. And as you exhale, bend your left knee so it comes out towards the 90 degree, out towards that fire hydrant. And inhale, as you exhale, lower your left knee down towards the mat so it hovers, and then inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower to that hover, and inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower, inhale, lift. Lower down, lift up. 2 more. Lower down, lift up. Lower down, lift up. Lower down, lift up. And then take a big breath in, and then as you exhale, stay here or pull your left knee in towards your left tricep and take it back to your fire hydrant. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, back to neutral. Pull it in to neutral.
pull it in to neutral. Let's do 3 more. Pull it in, take it to neutral. Pull it in, take it to neutral. 1 more. Pull it in, take it to neutral. And then inhale, and as we exhale, we'll extend our left leg out over towards 9 o'clock. Bring your left foot down on the mat. Walk your hands up towards you. Gate pose as you inhale, hands go high. Good. And take a big breath in as you exhale, hinge down over towards the left. Left hand coming to rest on your left leg as you reach your right hand up towards the sky and tilt down and over towards the left. Good. And now I'll rotate around so you guys can see. Because then we're going to take a big breath in. And as you exhale, hinge all the way over and down towards the right, planting your right hand down as you reach your left hand up. And stay here, or maybe you lift that left leg up, coming into a modified side plank. And we're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, take your left foot down the mat. Take your left hand down the mat. Walk your hands out in front of you here. So you're in a modified tabletop. And then sink your hips back towards your right heel. Child's pose. Melting down into your mat here. Take a big breath in as you exhale, come back up. Modified tabletop. Let's take that left leg all the way back behind us, lifting it up off the ground here, back where we started. Take a breath in as you exhale, tuck your toes, lift your right knee up off the mat, lifting your left leg up towards the sky. And then go ahead, stack your hips here, bend your left knee, taking circles at whatever joint you want or need to. Ankle, hip, knee, thigh, your choice. And then inhale, extend out that left leg as you exhale, pull your left knee in towards the outside of your left elbow. Plant your left foot down the mat, right knee follows lizard pose. Now it's early on in class, so just listen to this hip. Maybe you take a little bit of a sway with your hips here. Scooting your way around and forward and back on your mat. Or maybe you just settle into stillness. Your choice. If you decide to take those kriyas, those circles, those repetitive movements, make sure you take it in both directions, okay? If you're taking that movement, go ahead, settle into stillness, because from here we'll all tuck our right toes, lift our right knee, take a big breath in as you exhale, step your right foot up to the top of your mat, meet me in a malasana. Heels point in, toes point out. I know it's early in practice, that might be a little much for your hips, so just take time here in your malasana. Maybe you sway side to side to open up your hips a little bit. Maybe you simply settle into stillness. Perfect options for you, just going where you wish to go. And let's take a big breath in as you exhale, bow forward, plant your hands on the mat, wiggle, walk your feet into midline, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. As you exhale, bow forward, plant your hands on the mat, step, step, or float back, your choice, optional vinyasa. Meet me in downward facing dog. And then go ahead and inhale all the way up onto your tippy toes as you exhale, lower your knees down to the mat, let them touch the mat or let them hover. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those knees of yours down onto the mat. Let's take this right leg and extend it long back behind us. Good. Square all 5 of your right toes down towards the mat. Set up your base. Set up your pose. Take a breath as you exhale. Bend your right knee. Bring it out to 3 o'clock. Inhale, and as you exhale, lower down so it hovers. And inhale, lift up. Fire hydrant. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Lower. Lift. Lower. Lift. 3 more. Maybe do an extra one at the end, if you want. And then as you're ready, settle back into stillness. And then from here, when you're done with your 3 or 4, kick that right leg out over towards 3 o'clock. Bring your right foot down the mat. Walk your hands up towards you and lift up. Gate pose. Inhale, hands go high. As you exhale, tilt down and over towards that right hand coming to rest on your right leg somewhere. As you reach your left hand up towards the sky before you take it down and over towards the right. And just breathe. And take a big inhale, and as you exhale, pull yourself back up towards the sky. Taking a breath in. Exhale, left hand goes down to the mat. Reach your right hand up towards the sky, and you can stay here with your right foot planted, or maybe you lift that right foot up off the ground here. Come into that modified side plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you lifted that right foot up off the mat, take it back down the mat. Plant your right hand down. Walk your hands out in front of you. Modified tabletop before you shift your weight back towards your left heel, coming to sit there. Melting your heart down and forward. And go take a big breath in. And as you exhale, make your way back up to your modified tabletop. And then inhale, lift your right leg all the way back behind you where we started. Let's take a breath. And as you exhale, tuck your toes, lift your left knee, and reach your right leg high. Three-legged dog, and then stack your hips, bend your right knee, taking circles of whatever joint you want or need to here. Ankle, hip, knee, thigh. Your choice. And then go ahead, inhale, reach your right leg up. As you exhale, pull your right knee to the outside of your right elbow. Plant that right foot down. Bring your left knee onto the earth. Good. And go ahead, maybe take those circles, those kriyas, if you want. Or maybe you just settle into stillness. Totally your choice. Your body, your practice. And one thing I forgot to mention at the start of class, because I was so focused on alternative nostril breathing, saying it right, not giving away that we were going to do that. Everything I offer today is merely a suggestion that you can decide to take or not depending on how your body is feeling and what your body and your breath is asking you to do. So please take rest as you need it. Please dig deeper if you want to and try something new. But as always, please, please, please be your own teacher and just listen to your body, okay? And then from here, let's go ahead and tuck our toes, lift our left knee. Let's take a breath in as you exhale, step your left foot up, Malasana, at the top of your mat. Maybe overstep and then step it back like I just did. Totally okay. And just come here into your Malasana. Maybe you instantly settle into stillness. Or maybe those little sway side to side felt really good last time. But just breathe here. Maybe your hands come to prayer as you press your elbows actively into your knees and into your thighs, opening up your hips a little bit more. Maybe your hands just come apart, palms splay in towards midline here. And let's take a big breath. As you exhale, plant your hands down the mat, lift your hips up towards the sky, wiggle, walk your feet into midline. Inhale, halfway, lift, lengthen. Exhale, bow. And then inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing, hands coming to touch above your head. As you exhale, pull your hands down to your heart. And then inhale, hands go high. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold here. Inhale, halfway, lift, lengthen. As you exhale, bow forward, plant your hands to the mat, step or float back, your choice. Optional Namaste. Meet me in downward facing dog. And let's take 5 breaths for ourselves here. So if you want to grab a drink of water, you can grab a drink of water. If you want to rest in child's pose, rest in child's pose. If you want to stay in down dog, hang out in down dog with me. And if you want to head towards dolphin, head towards dolphin. But just taking time here for yourself and for your practice. 3 more breaths. Good, and then go ahead and take a big breath in. As you exhale, side out. And then inhale, reach your right leg all the way up towards the sky here. Stack your hips, bend your right knee. Stay here or flip your dog if you want. Totally your choice. We'll have an opportunity to flip again later in class if you're not ready to flip. If you flip, come back around while inhale, extend out right leg. As you exhale, rock forward, high plank here, keeping your right leg lifted. Now, you know how we just did those fun little funky crunches in our tabletop when we took our right knee to the outside of our right tricep and our right elbow? That's what we're about to do here. So go ahead, bend your right knee so it comes back out to like that base of a fire hydrant like we just were in tabletop. And take a breath in and stay here, or as you exhale, pull your right knee to the outside of your right elbow and bring it back to where you started. Inhale, pull in. Exhale, take out. And if you're confused, I'll turn to face the camera. Let's pull it in. Take it out. Keeping that knee bent the entire time. Pull it in. Take it out. 4 more. Pull it in. Take it out. Pull it in. Take it out. 2 more. Pull it in. Take it out. Last one. Pull it in. Take it out. And then we'll pull our right knee back in towards that 90 degrees. And let's plant our right foot down on the mat about a third of the way from the top of our mat. Right toes pointing out towards the line edge of our mat here. Plant our left hand down and reach our right hand up towards that sky. Taking a gentle twist here, okay? Let's take a breath as you exhale, lower your hips down towards the earth, and inhale, press into your hips, lift them back up. Exhale, lower, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower your hips down, and inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down, inhale, lift up. Lower, lift, lower, lift. 2 more, lower, lift, lower down, lift up, and then take a big breath as you exhale, step back towards your side plank. Left hand and left foot down on the mat here. Reaching that right hand of yours up towards the sky. And then let's all reach our right leg up, taking a breath, and as you exhale, cross your right foot behind your left, plant your right foot down, and reach your hips up towards that sky. Wild thing here, coming onto the pinky toe edge of your left foot as you reach your right hand up towards the sky. For 3, 2, 1, exhale, windmill around and down, planting your hands on the mat. High plank, optional Vanasa. Meet me in downward facing dog. Good. And then inhale, reach your right leg all the way up towards the sky. Stack your hips here, bend your right knee. Stay here or flip your dog. Like I said, we're going to be doing a lot of flips today if you want. Opening up our hips with these. Stay in our flip dog for 3, 2, 1. If you flip, come back around wall. Inhale, extend our right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, pull your right knee in towards your nose. Plant your right foot down the mat. Windmill up and open. Warrior 2 here. Gazing out over your right hand. Right knee and ankle are stacking one on top of the other here. As your arms come out to a great big T. Hugging that belly button of yours up and in as you reach your arms out nice and long. Feet are on that same railroad track, heel arch alignment. Let's inhale, bring our hands to our lower back, interlace them, Yoga Mudra. Take a breath in, exhale out, and then inhale, press your shoulders up towards the sky, crown lifts, gaze lifts, and as you exhale, hinge forward. Humble Warrior 2 here. Right shoulder comes down to the inside of your right knee. And ostrich pose, however you like to think of it. Focusing on stretching out your shoulders here. Palms can stay tight together or palms can splay apart, whatever's best for your body. And we're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, plant both hands down on the mat, reaching for the left long edge of your mat. Point all 5 of your right toes out towards the left top corner of your mat. Sink down into your right knee. Skandasana here. If this right heel is sealed down to the mat, that's when this left heel seals down to the earth and all 5 of your left toes go up towards the sky. But if this right heel is popped up off of that mat, plant your hands down and come into your modified Skandasana here. Planting both hands down on the earth, sealing both heels down the earth. Good. And just breathe. Not here for super long. We're only here for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat. Shift your weight towards midline. Wide-legged forward fold here, melting your head and neck down towards the mat. And you can stay here with your arms and your hands directly underneath your shoulders, or you can begin to walk your hands out in front of you. Coming into a wide-legged downward facing dog. You can reach for your big toes if you want. You can take this pose wherever you wish to take it. Just breathing wherever you've decided to land. Then go ahead, take a big breath, and as you exhale, walk your hands back up directly underneath your shoulders, taking a final breath here. And as you exhale, crab crawl onto the back of your mat. Low runner's lunge towards the back of your mat. Hands are now framing your left foot. Take a breath, and as you exhale, rise up high, lunge here. Hugging that belly button up and in. Good, we're not here for super long, because all we're going to do here is we're going to use it as a transition. So let's take a breath, and as you exhale, pull your right knee up towards the sky, high knee. And inhale, step back, high lunge. Exhale, pull up, high knee. Inhale, back, high lunge. 3 more. Pull up, high knee. Take it back, high lunge. Pull up, high knee. Take it back, high lunge. 1 more. Pull up, high knee. Take it back, high lunge. Hands can go wherever you want. I just like my hands up straight towards the sky. Take a breath, as you exhale, pull your right knee up towards the sky. Good. And then from here, hinge forward. Take your right hand to your right big toe. Interlace your fingers. And instead of kicking out straight in front of you, kick out and over towards the right here. Coming into a modified big toe hold. Left hand resting out your heart space, or you can reach out and over towards the left for extra support. Good. And I'll turn to face the camera. Wiggling all over and around my mat here. And we're breathing for 5. You got this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rebend your right knee. Bring this right leg somewhere on that left leg. Tree pose. It can be all the way up here in your thigh. It can be down here at your ankle. It can be down here, ankle here. This is your calf. So calf, ankle, up in your thigh if you want. Helping your right foot up into that left thigh if you need to. Right foot presses into your left thigh presses back. Hands can rest in your heart space, or you can reach your hands up towards your sky here. Your choice, taking whatever sort of yoga mudra you wish to take. Good. And simply breathe. Maybe you close your eyes to play with balance. Maybe you just settle. Slowing down your heart rate, returning to your intention. Then go ahead and take a breath, and as you exhale, lift that right foot up off of your left leg. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh and lower your hips down towards the mat. Figure 4 chair here. Okay, and so all we're worrying about in this round in figure 4 chair, this round, we're going to do this again, is just gently opening up our hips here, figuring out how the pose feels in our body, how low or how high we want our hips to be. Okay, that's what we're focusing on right now. What do we do with our hands? Come on. Like, that's also something you got to figure out in figure 4 chair. Do we want our hands on the mat? Do we want them on our heart? Do we want one hand on the mat? Do you want one hand on our right knee? The other hand cradling our right foot? Like, what do we do with our hands? You know, it's like a picture. What do you do with your hands? I don't know. You do what you want with your hands in this pose. And we're here for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands on the mat. Unlace your right foot, plant both feet down the mat. Forward fold. Let's take an inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, bow. And then from here, let's take these feet, walk them out and over towards the long edge of the mat. You guessed it, toes point out, heels point in, lower your hips down towards the mat. Malasana, low yogi squat. So hugging your belly button up and in here, grow the crown of your head up towards that sky. And stay here sitting on a block or a book, whatever you may have at home if you want to sit on a prop. Or you can stay here. Or, I sound like a seal. Or you can plant your hands down on the mat and come into crow pose. And I'll break it down this time and break it down next time too in case you want to hang out in Malasana right now. But if you're coming with me to crow, let's walk our feet directly behind our hands. There's a couple inches between our wrists and our ankles here. And bend your elbows a lot so that way your knees come to rest on your elbows. And begin to shift your weight forward, gazing forward. And as you shift forward, your toes are going to magically begin to shift up off the mat, roll up off the mat, and then lift up off of that mat. And we're breathing here in our crow or in our Malasana for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then from here, just make your way back to a high plank how you want to from your Malasana or crow. Optional Vinasa. Meet me in downward facing dog. Good. And then inhale, lift your left leg high. And as you exhale, stack your hips here, bend your left knee. Stay here or flip your dog, just like we did on the other side. Your choice, your practice. And we're here for 3, 2, 1. If you flip, come back around. Inhale, straighten out your left leg. As you exhale, rock forward, high plank. So back to that high plank variation we just did. Let's pull our left knee out to the base of our fire hydrant. So out towards 9 o'clock. Left knee bent. Take a breath in as you exhale. Stay here or pull your left knee in towards your left elbow. And take it back to where you started with that left knee bent. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, take it back. You got this. Pull in, take it back. 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 3 more. You got this. 2 more. You got this. And if you're holding you're rocking it, take it back. And we'll all take a breath in with our left knee bent. As you exhale, plant your left foot about 1/3 away from the top of your mat. Good. Plant your right hand down. Reach your left hand up towards the sky. Good. And again, you can stay here or maybe lower your hips down towards the mat and inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Lower, lift. Lower, lift. Lower, lift. You got this. 1 more. Lower, lift. Lower, lift. 2 more. Just working these hips here in a different way. Last one. Lower, lift. And take a big breath in as you exhale. Step back, side plank. Right hand down the mat. Pressing your hips away from the earth. Reaching that left hand up. Good. And then go ahead. Take your left foot. Lift it up off your right leg. And then plant your left foot down the mat. Behind your right foot. And your right leg coming up onto the right pinky toe. And press your hips up towards that sky. Wild thing. And just breathe. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back around. High plank. Optional Vinasa. Meet me in your downward facing dog. Have you just heard that correct? If it was my shoulder and everything is fine. My knees, my ankles, my hips, my shoulders, my fingers, everything cracks. I give it credit to years and years of travel basketball and basketball. Inhale, lift your left leg up, and as you exhale, stack your hips, bend your left knee. Stay here or flip your dog, pressing into your hips or your heels to lift your hips higher. For 3, 2, 1. If you flip, come back around. Inhale, straighten out your left leg. As you exhale, pull your left knee towards your nose, plant your left foot down the mat, pivot that back foot, rise up. Warrior 2. Good. And again, just taking time here to set up the pose. Feet, heel arch alignment. Left knee, tracking out to your left pinky toe and to your mat. All stuff you've heard before. All stuff I just said on the right side. Bring your arms out to a T. And something I'm going to add on this round is bring your shoulders to stack directly above those hips of yours. As you actively continue to sink down into this left knee, hugging your belly button up and in. Maybe you sink an inch lower. And then go ahead, bring your hands to your lower back, interlace them. Inhale, press your knuckles down, lift your shoulders and gaze up. As you exhale, hinge. Humble warrior 2 here. Left shoulder coming into the inside of your left knee. Neck hangs heavy down towards the mat, or maybe you extend your neck and head out long, gazing out towards the right top corner of your mat here. Hugging your belly button up and in. Simply breathing. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, bring both hands down towards the right long edge of your mat. Take your left toes, point them out towards the right top corner of your mat, or the back of your mat, whatever you want to think about it. Lower your hips down towards the mat. Skandasana here. Left knee's bent, we're lowering down into this left leg. And again, if this left heel is not down on the mat, do not pop those right toes up towards the sky by coming up into your right heel. Seal that right foot down on the mat, okay? But if this left heel is down, that's when those toes point up. This protects your knees a whole heck of a lot, okay? And that's why I really stress left heel down. And we're here for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, plant your hands down, shift your weight in towards midline. Wide-legged forward fold, coming into your favorite variation. Maybe you come with me by taking your hands to the pinky toe edges of your mat here and reaching for your pinky toes and letting your neck and head hang heavy. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your hands back directly underneath your shoulders. Lift, lengthen, taking a breath. And as you exhale, crab crawl around back to the top of your mat. Low runner's lunge. It's like magic, right? And then inhale, reach your hands all the way up towards that sky. High lunge. Now let's take a big breath in. And as you exhale, pull your left knee up towards the sky. Inhale, step back. Exhale, pull up towards the sky. Again, doing whatever you want with your hands. Step back. High lunge. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, step back. 2 more. Lift. Take it back. Lift. Take it back. And then inhale, lift up that left knee. As you exhale, hinge forward a little bit. Wrap your peace finger, so your second and middle finger around your left big toe, right or left thumb as well. And then take your left knee out and over towards the left and extend your left leg out here. Right hand coming to rest at heart center. Or maybe you'll reach your right hand out towards the side. Again, it's that fun game of figuring out what do I do with my hands. And any balancing posture is the game of what do I do with my hands. Okay. And just breathe here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Rebend your left knee. Release the grip on your left foot and take your left foot somewhere on this right leg, helping it up into the inside of your left thigh if you want for your tree pose. Slowing down your heart rate here. Slowing down your breath. Growing that crown of your head up towards that sky. And simply breathe. Returning to your intention. Returning to that mantra that you set at the start of class. Good. And then go ahead, take your breath in. And as you exhale, lift that left foot up off of your right leg. And let's lift up this left leg if we need to and take our left ankle over our right thigh and lower our hips down towards the earth. Figure 4 chair on the left side. Good. And just find the hip height and the hand placement that works for this side. Hugging your belly button up and in the entire time to help with balance. Setting your gaze, your drishti on one unmoving point somewhere around your mat, out in front of you. So that way you have something to focus on. And we're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, bow forward, put your hands on the mat. Let your left leg fall onto the mat. Forward fold here at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. As you exhale, bow forward. Let's take our hands to our lower back. Interlace them. Yoga mudra, let your fists fall forward. Wringing out your shoulders here. Giving them a deep stretch. Giving them a lot of love. Take a big breath in as you exhale, slowly release. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. As you exhale, bow. Put your hands on the mat. Wiggle, walk your feet out and over towards the long edge of your mat. Heels point in, toes point out, drop it down. Balasana, low yogi squat. Good. Just hang out here. Again, option for crow if you want a crow. Again, by placing your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Coming up onto your tippy toes and walking your feet directly back behind your wrists and your hands. If you want to hang out in Malasana sitting on a block or a book, you're more than welcome to. Take what your body needs right here and right now. With time, lifting your feet up off that mat in your crow pose. And if you ever want to take your crow to crane, or closer towards crane, all you gotta do is press your hands down on the mat and begin to tell your arms to straighten. Make that concentrated and focused effort to go arms straight. Straight. Straighten out arms. You got this, arms straighten out. And that's how you move closer and closer to crane. And we're here. And crow or malasana for 3, 2, 1. Coming back out towards your high plank, however you want. Optional vinyasa. Meet me in downward facing dog. Good. And let's take 4 breaths for ourselves here. Hanging out in down dog. Hanging out in child's pose. Hanging out in dolphin. Wherever you want to go. Knowing all that we have left before we begin to take our way down to the mat. Is a standing series on each side. And then we'll make our way even closer down towards the mat and start to close out class. But amongst, or whatever, during that standing series, we are going to take flying pigeon. And if you went to child's pose or dolphin, go ahead. Your next exhale, meet me in downward facing dog. Because we're going to inhale, reach our right leg up. And as you exhale, stack your hips here. Bend your right knee. Flip your dog if you want. Maybe you take it towards a wheel by placing your right hand down on the mat here. And we are flipped for 3, 2, 1. If you flipped, come back around. Inhale, extend your right leg long up towards the sky. As you exhale, pull your right knee towards your nose. Plant your right foot down on the mat. Windmill up and open here. Warrior 2. Good. Actually sinking down into this right leg. Again, shoulders stacking directly above your hips. Let's inhale, flip our palms up towards the sky, gaze back behind you, exhale, hinge down and forward. Extended side angle here, right elbow resting on your right thigh. You can bring your right hand all the way down into the inside of your right foot. Before you do anything with this left arm and your left hand, take your left hand to your left hip, press it down towards that mat. Sink your hips lower. See how much lower you can drop down your hips and your extended side angle, and then reach that left hand back up. And maybe you take big circles here, those Guitar Hero swings with that left arm. Before you settle into stillness, staying with left arm reaching up towards the sky. Maybe you flip your left palm behind you and go for a half bind, reaching for your right quad here. Maybe you take a full bind, your choice. But just take your pose, that being the it. Take your extended side angle wherever your body needs to go here. For 3, 2, 1. If you took a bind, release it. Shift your gaze down towards your right foot. Wiggle walk your left foot in a little bit. Wiggle walk your right hand out in front of you. And then lift that left leg up off the mat. Half moon pose. Adjusting on your mat as you need to here. I'm going to adjust back onto my mat. Gazing up towards your left thumb. Maybe you gaze down towards the mat here. Your choice. Hugging that belly button of yours up and in. And we're here for 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Windmill your left hand down on the mat. Reach your left leg all the way up towards that sky. Standing splits here. Good. One or both hands can come to your right ankle to play with balance. For 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Bring both hands down to the mat. Now you have a choice here. You can either bring your left leg down to the mat and then switch out by taking, we're going to switch out our legs. Let me start with that. And you can do it by taking your left foot down the mat and reaching your right leg up, simple exchange. Or you can take a handstand hop here and you can kick both feet up into the sky, bring your left foot down the mat and reach your right leg up, okay? And I'll go ahead and demo that again. So, regardless of which way you want to switch, what we're doing here is we're taking our left foot down on the mat and taking our right foot up towards the sky. That's where we're ending up, because right now we have our right foot down and our left leg up, and we want our left leg down on the mat and our right leg up in the air, okay? So if you want to take that handstand hop, go ahead, kick up, and then bring that left foot down on the mat. Right leg reaches up. We all meet back in our standing split. Fun little change out there. And then from here, square your hips down towards the mat. Begin to pull your right knee in towards your chest here. Standing high knee. Good. And from here, we're going to take another tree pose. So let's take this right foot somewhere on our left leg. It can be, again, up in that right calf, or right thigh, down at your right calf, down at your right ankle. Or if you want to take this towards half lotus, what you're going to do is you're going to take this right foot, take your left hand to your right foot, take your right hand to your right shin, lift, and then take your right heel towards your left hip crease. Now only do this lotus variation if your hips are super open, if you've done the lotus variation before, or if lotus is part of your practice somewhere else. And you saw there how my hands went off my right foot here. Well, that's because we do this all the time in hot yoga, okay? But when you're first starting out, let your left hand cradle your right foot, okay? Right hand rests at your heart space, or reaches up towards the sky if you're in in this half lotus tree. I almost said tree stand. I guess no, it's just 3. Okay. Like I said, focusing too much on the pose and not actually on the words coming out of my mouth here. Let's settle. For 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, come out of whatever variation of tree that you came into, lifting your right knee back to the midline. Take a second here, wiggle out your ankle. Just wiggle it out. Bring a little movement into that joint. And then go ahead, take a breath in as you exhale. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh as you lower your hips down towards that mat. Good. And you have 3 options from here. 1 is to stay here in chair pose, right? 2 is to plant your hands down on the mat and extend out your left leg, coming in to this figure 4, forward fold. Option 3 is to take your hands down on the mat again, okay? And I just put my hands down on the mat because I was falling there. Because I put them down on the mat because this is what you do for your flying pigeon. So you take your hands down on the mat, shoulder width distance apart. And look at my right toes here. They're already hooked around my left tricep, and that's what you want to do. To be successful in flying pigeon, you have to have your right toes, in this instance, wrapped around your left tricep. So go ahead, get them wrapped around there before you even begin to lower down the mat. Because what you're going to do from here is you're going to begin to hinge forward and bend your left knee, walking your hands out in front of you as you hinge forward, lowering down towards the mat until your elbows come into chaturanga arms like they do for crow pose. Right knee resting on your right elbow here, right foot resting on your left elbow as your right toes wrap around, okay? And then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to gaze forward, rock your weight forward, and you can stay here, left toes on the mat, or you can lift that left foot up off of the ground, okay? Side view, here you go. Hands down on the mat, I'm hinging forward. Elbows are now supporting my shin and my leg, and I'm going to lift that left leg up. Gazing and shifting my weight forward. And you don't have to extend this left leg out and back if you don't want to. Notice how I'm not doing that right now because my hamstrings aren't open enough. Okay? And you can play there with your flying pigeon for as long as you want. You can hang out in your figure 4 chair for as long as you want. But just know that we will eventually meet in our figure 4 forward fold, giving our hips some love here. And it can be a lot of pressure in your flying pigeon on your elbows with that right shin if you have bonier shins or just bony knees. And I really have no good tips or tricks to help you combat that other than just keep on doing it. Get used to the weight. Some days it will feel a lot worse and some days it won't bother you at all, but some days it will really bother you. Just depends on the day, depends on how you've landed into pose, okay? And hang out in your flying pigeon or in your figure 4 chair for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll all be in this figure 4 forward fold. Taking a big breath in and then exhale, forward fold at the top of your mat. Let's take an inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, bow. And then inhale, reverse one. I have all standing hands coming to touch above your head. As you exhale, pull your hands onto your heart space. And pause here. Taking a moment for yourself. Reconnecting to your breath, reconnecting to your intention. Standing in Tadasana, Tadasana, as I like to think of it. And just acknowledge how amazing you are. Offer yourself gratitude once again for taking time out of your day for yourself and to move and to show up on your mat tonight. Slow down your breath. Slow down your heart. And just take a second here in your day to praise yourself. Maybe even give yourself your own little hug here. And keeping your eyes closed. Maybe you open them. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. As you exhale, put your hands on the mat. Step or float back. Optional Namaste. Meet me in downward facing dog. Good. And then go ahead, inhale, reach your left leg all the way up towards the sky. Taking a big breath in. As you exhale, stack your hips here. Bend your left knee. Stay here or flip your dog. One last time here in class. Driving your hips up towards the sky by pushing your heels down to the mat. For 3, 2, 1. If you flipped, come back around wall. Inhale, reach your left leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, pull your left knee in towards your nose. Plant that left foot down the mat. Pivot that right foot between 45 degrees and 90. Windmill up and open. Warrior 2 here. And you've been in the pose before. So arrive in your variation, in your shape. Combining all those cues I have given into one pose. Sinking as deeply into that left knee as you wish. And then inhale, flip your palms up towards the sky, gaze back behind you, and as you exhale, hinge forward and down. Extended side angle. Left hand resting on the mat or a block. Maybe your left elbow rests on your left thigh. And let's take this hand, bring it to the right hip, press your right hip down towards the mat, and then inhale, reach your right hand up here. Gazing up towards the sky or down at the mat. Maybe take some big guitar here, swings here, going up and around, before you land in stillness. Staying here, maybe take a half bind, maybe take a full bind. Just going where your body needs you to go today. And then go take a breath, and as you exhale, release your bind. Gaze down on the mat, wiggle walk your right foot in a little bit, wiggle walk your left fingertips out in front of you and your left hand. Arrive in your half moon pose here on the left side with your right hand up towards the sky, right foot away from the mat, squaring your right toes out and over towards the right long edge of your mat. You can gaze down the mat or up towards the sky. Your left hand can hover up off the mat. You can rest on a block if you want. Your choice. But just breathe here wherever you have landed. Engaging from fingertip to fingertip here, from toe tip to toe tip. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, windmill that right hand down towards the mat as you reach your right leg up towards that sky. Standing splits. One or both hands comes to your left ankle to play with balance. Good. And just like last time, just like on the other side, we have that same opportunity to either take that handstand hop change out, or you can bring this right leg down, plant it on the mat, and then lift your left leg up. It's totally your choice. But take a second here to make your decision, because we're going to begin to make our way towards the change in 3, 2, 1. Take your hands down onto the mat, and either, like I said, bring your right foot down the mat and then reach your left leg up, or maybe you take that handstand hop by walking your left leg back behind you and then kicking your feet up into the air and letting your right leg plant back down the mat and your left leg stay lifted towards that sky here. Your choice. And then go ahead, square your left hip down towards the mat. Take your hands onto the mat, lifting up a little bit, and inhale, pull your left knee up and in towards that sky. Good. From here, we're going to take that tree pose. So let's take our left leg somewhere on that right leg. So again, you can come down to your left ankle, or your right ankle, excuse me, left foot to right ankle. Come to your left calf. You can help your left foot up in towards your right thigh. Or if you want, bring your right hand to the left pinky toe edge of your foot. Take your left hand to your left calf. Lift it up. Bring your left heel into your right hip crease. Coming in to your half lotus. And just breathe here. Maybe you shift your gaze up towards that sky. Maybe you wipe a bead of bead of sweat off of your brow. Not letting this be a pose of stress, but letting this be a grounding pose. Letting this be a pose that you can catch up with your breath, catch up with your body. We're going to take a breath, and as you exhale, let's bring our hands to our heart and take our left knee forward. And just take any circles in your left ankle that you want again, okay? Really bringing blood flow back to that ankle. Bring a little synovial fluid, a little bit of love there. And then as you're ready, let's take this left ankle across our right thigh and sink our hips down towards that mat, okay? And you have the same exact options on this side as you did on the other side. Figure 4 chair, sit here, jam it out, stretch out your hip. Get that really good quad and glute strength going. You can put your hands down on the mat and straighten out your right leg, giving your hips a whole lot of love here. Or again, if you want to take that flying pigeon, plant your hands down the ground, shoulder width distance apart. Wrap those left toes around your right tricep. And then begin by walking your hands out as you lean forward and bend your elbows here, okay? Shift forward, gaze forward, shift your weight forward as you lift your right foot up off of that mat. Side view. I'm shifting my weight forward as I gaze forward, and I'm lifting that right foot up off the mat there. It's just like crow pose. As you shift your weight forward, methodically and mindfully, your toes will slowly, and the ball of your foot will slowly roll up off that mat until you're just hanging out on your toe tips, and you're able to lift up off that mat so much easier. And just like last time, you can hang on your figure four chair for as long as you want. You can hang on your flying pigeon for as long as you want. But just know that we will meet in our figure four forward fold. In your flying pigeon, do not forget to have awareness in your hands the entire time. So actively press both hands down into your mat, just like you do in crow pose, just like you do in your high plank. Engage your Hasta Bandha, your hand lock. Hasta's hand, Bandha's lock. Meet me back in your figure four forward fold in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll all take a big breath in. As you exhale, make your way to a regular forward fold at the top of your mat here. Take an inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. As you exhale, plant your hands on the mat, step back, high plank. And then shift your weight up towards the sky, down facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg up. As you exhale, pull your right knee in towards your right elbow. Bring your right shin parallel with the top of your mat. Lower your hips down towards that earth. Pigeon pose. So before you lower down into your final variation of pigeon, let's set up the pose. Square your hips forward here. You don't want your left hip to be cocked up like that. You want your left hip squaring down towards that mat. And if it is gearing up, maybe try to mindfully gear it down, but if your hips are tight, then take a block, a bolster, a pillow, a book, whatever you have at home, and tuck it up underneath that hip. And sorry, that was a hiccup. That was a weird hiccup. And you can stay here nice and proud for as long as you want, or as you're ready, you can bring your hands down to your mat. Maybe your elbows follow. As you simply begin to lay out here on your mat. Slowing down your heart rate, slowing down your breath here. And with each breath, you're moving closer and closer towards your final Shavasana. Your final pose of rest as you begin to melt down to your hip and relax down into your mat here. And now take a big breath in as you exhale slowly, begin to make your way out of the mat. Coming back into your nice proud pigeon, both hands on the mat. And let's take this left leg, swing it out in front of you here, coming into a Janu Nirshasana. Yeah, Janu. And you can stay here. Left leg's gonna stay out, and you can keep your right foot somewhere in on the inside of your left leg if you want. Or if you want to play with a different variation, let's take this right foot and take our right foot into our left hip crease here, coming into a lotus in our Janu. And if you want to stay here in your lotus variation, you can. Head straight up towards the sky. But if you're coming with me in your regular Janu, or if you want to take this into a deeper hip stretch, if you have the lotus Janu going on, let's inhale, lift our arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, hinge forward here, draping your chest down onto your left thigh, reaching for something on this left leg of yours. Maybe it's your ankle. Maybe it's your calf. Maybe it's your foot here. And simply breathe. If you're in the lotus variation of Janu and halfway through you're like, yeah, no, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired of opening up my hips. Feel free to come back into your regular Janu, okay? And we're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you exhale, slowly begin to make your way up back to neutral. Take your legs out in front of you, shake them out, coming into your Dandayamana, your staff pose here. Unless I think that's the Sanskrit. I know it's staff pose. And from here, let's just go ahead, cross our ankles, cross our feet, crisscross applesauce, put your hands down on the mat, tabletop, and then shift your weight back up towards that sky, downward facing dog. Headed to our pigeon pose on our left. Let's inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, pull your left knee in towards your left elbow. Take your left shin parallel with the top of that mat here. Lower it down And again, square your hips forward. Square your right hip down towards the mat, taking a prop underneath your right hip if you need to. You want to get your left shin as parallel with the top of your mat as you can. So before you lower down, wiggle it up so that way it can get nice and parallel. And then as you're ready, put your hands down on the mat. And maybe with time you begin to soften with your elbows on the mat or a block. Your choice. And just as a reminder here, props are never a crutch. They are a tool to help you go deeper, okay? Don't let anyone ever tell you that they're anything else but a tool. They don't make you weaker for using a prop. They don't mean you're any less of an advanced yogi or any less of a yogi, that you're a beginner if you use props, okay? Props are honestly a sign of a really wise, really advanced practitioner because you know your body, you know what you need most, and you know that you need a prop, and that is amazing. Acknowledging your body is one of the most important parts of yoga, having that body-mind connection. Because asana, the physical postures of yoga, are just one of the 8 limbs. They're limb number 3 after the yamas and niyamas. And one of the yamas and niyamas is ahimsa, kindness towards yourself, kindness towards others. So really, by practicing with a block, because that's kind to your body, you're practicing 3 of the limbs of yoga right there, or 2 of the limbs, okay, however you want to think about it. And you're practicing more than just one limb in the asana. And go ahead and make your way back up to your proud pigeon here. Let's keep this right leg bent. Swing this left leg, or your right leg out in front of you, keeping your left leg bent. Good. John, you on this side. So right leg is out in front of us, despite my bad cueing there. Right leg out in front, left leg somewhere on the inside of your right foot. And your right leg. If you want to bring this left foot into your right hip crease, you're more than welcome to for your lotus, John, you. And let's all inhale, lift our hands up. And as you exhale, hinge forward and down, reaching for something on that right leg of yours. Excusing the creaking of my neighbor upstairs. Coming out of the lotus variation of Janu at any point, if it's no longer serving your body, if it's no longer kind to your body. And go ahead, take a big breath in as you exhale, slowly unwind, meeting me back with the crown of your head extended long up towards that sky. And from here, let's bring our left foot and our right foot just down on the mat. Take your arms down in front of you, taking a big breath in. And as you exhale, slowly, slinky roll all the way down onto your mat. Vertebrae upon vertebrae land. And once you get there, just extend your legs out. Arms coming to rest down by your sides. Coming into your final pose of rest here, your Shavasana. If you want to bring your soles of your feet together and let your knees splay out like the pages of a book, coming into your Supta Baddha Konasana, your reclined bound angle, you're more than welcome to. And you can hang out there for your entire Shavasana, or just for a few breaths more. If you want to stretch out your hips for a little while longer. And just lay here and let your body relax. Letting your thoughts and your focus lay solely on your breath here, and on the rise and fall of your chest. And then with time, as your palms become heavy, and your shoulder blades lie down your back and away from your ears, and you begin to melt down to your mat, your breath becomes natural and easy. And you're no longer focusing on anything. You're simply coming into that space in between dreamfulness and restfulness. And this is where I leave you. As always, it was an honor to practice alongside you, and it was an honor to teach. I hope you enjoyed today's class, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.